Was Michael Jackson protecting those kids from Jeffrey Epstein and his sick pedo buddies?
He did a lot of great things. He was saving the children. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He was saving the children. And they turned it around and make it look like he wasn't saving the children. He was doing something else, but that was the wrong thing.
That was Teddy Riley on Joe Budden's podcast talking about his relationship with Michael Jackson, how they tried to flip the script on Michael, saying that he was abusing kids when he was actually trying to save them. Stay locked into the video to find out Michael Jackson's involvement and exactly how these Epstein Files are affecting our country as a whole. Now, as I'm sure most of you know, the legend Michael Jackson passed away back in 2009. He's probably the biggest icon we'll ever see. However, his legacy has been tarnished with accusations of having improper relations with children. And this is YouTube, so I'm watching my words here. He had a huge ranch in California with an amusement park built on it called Neverland. Now, because Michael was a grown man, many people thought it was odd that he lived in an amusement park. He would often have sleepovers where there were young children, and he claimed that these were innocent sleepovers where they would play games and watch movies, but most of the public was not rocking with that. King of Pop or not, it's weird to have sleepovers with kids as an adult. His fans said he never got to have a real childhood because he was too famous to do normal kid things. That's why he was always around children. But his detractors often said he was using his power as the King of Pop to lure children to his amusement park for more nefarious activities. Now, I always hoped it was a lie, because who the hell would want that to be true? Of course, I hope nothing actually happened to those children, but it was extremely difficult to look past all the media coverage that was constantly painting him as a PDF file. Honestly, after a certain point, it had just become widely accepted as pretty much fact that Michael was sexually inappropriate with those kids. And if you even tried to defend Mike in barbershops or at dinner, people would treat you like you weird. So even if you did have some pushback, you pretty much had to shut up, because you gotta protect the kids at the end of the day. That makes sense. But now in 2026, some of these Epstein files have been released, and it's causing the MJ conversation to start up again. And not just the MJ conversation. I hear it debated often and see it online quite a bit that black people need to get over slavery because it was so long ago, and that since America abolished slavery way back in 1865, white and black people have had an equal playing field to live and flourish in this country since then. When black people get to complaining about systematic discrimination in schools, banks, real estate, government, policing, the list goes on and on, but when we bring these things up, some people act as if we're absurd for even thinking such a thing. Because look, Negroes are able to share schools with us now and buy homes. They call us crazy for pointing out the discrimination we still face, assuring us that because everything on paper says we're equal, that we're just imagining being treated unfairly. And look, not all the people that think this are bad people. Some are, for sure, but many people are just naive enough to think that this great country of ours wouldn't do such a thing. Hell, we abolished slavery. Our great leaders would not intentionally try to keep people down. Sure, maybe back then, but not today. But these Epstein files are finally pulling back the curtain on some of this country's darkest secrets, no pun intended. Things that were once known to be just conspiracy theories are now showing true. Secret societies for one. Yo, there's alleged evidence in the Epstein files that a secret society called Zodiac Club exists. Apparently this Zodiac group consists of like 12 of the richest and most powerful people in the world. You can only be invited into this group by a current member, and the only way to become a member is after a current member dies. No women allowed and no minorities, of course.
This revelation that came from a document that talks about an organization called the Zodiac. Now, according to documents, this ultra-exclusive male-only dining club operated under rules that sound like something from like a Sherlock Holmes book or something. And it existed well into the 21st century with members wielding significant influence, both in political circles, but financial circles, etc. Now, the society's most distinctive feature was what insiders call the Rule of 12. At any given time, the Zodiac maintained exactly 12 members, mirroring the 12 signs of the astrological zodiac. But unlike rotating memberships or term limits or anything like that, memberships in the Zodiac were for life, and the only way to gain entry was if a current member died. So before we go any further, I will just read what the correspondence is. So this is an email to Jeffrey Epstein sent on Thursday, August 12th, 2010, and the subject just says Murray. And it says this: just got a note from Bob Peary, who asked me if I thought Murray Gell-Mann would make a good candidate for the Zodiac. As you know, it's one of those last secret type societies, where there are only 12 members at any one time, and it's still very secretive. Yeah, no women, no minorities, whatever. It raises other questions, right? Like, okay, we know about the Zodiac, the Rule of 12, whatever, but how many others are there? How many other rooms where these decisions are getting made affecting millions of people every single day that you and I are just excluded from? Like, this is happening all the time and we just don't know about it. And I'm like, up until like 12 months ago, if you were like, oh yeah, I think there's groups of, you know, men getting together that are basically coordinating stuff, you'd be like, oh, you're crazy, you're whatever.
Wait, so the Illuminati real? Man, my 16-year-old self is freaking out right now. This is absolutely nuts. Now, that's Mark Gagnon, if you're not familiar. He's a comedian on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz, but this is his own podcast, Camp Gagnon, where he deep dives into interesting topics. Go check it out. And as he said in the video, if someone told you about the Zodiac Club a year ago, you would have called them cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Oh, sure, there's a cabal of men controlling the world, but now there's seemingly evidence that gives this credence. Same thing if someone told you all the most powerful and famous people in the world gathered on a small island and sacrificed children. And not just that, but forced women to breed children so that those children could then be molested, sacrificed, or both without any repercussions.
I think it's a nice Jewish family. From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really? You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know...
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not. Or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back.
So, you witnessed the sacrifice?
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Nah, what are we doing? Like, what's really going on in this country? Oprah did this interview back in '89. I gotta keep it a buck, man. It's hard to wrap my head around a lot of this. I still want to say no way this is true, but I keep being bombarded with more proof that this is indeed the reality of our country. This is our history, shit, probably our present, if we're being honest. You do some sick shit like this, I'm assuming you don't just stop. They probably just went deeper down into their hole, started hiding a little better, but it just makes me want to burn everything down and start over. The whole government, the whole system, rip it up, start over. I know that's not realistic, but fuck reality, man. This reality sucks. All right, I got a little off track with this nastiness, but my point in bringing this up was, do y'all believe us now? To all the decent people that have good hearts but were tricked into believing what the people in power wanted us all to think. Now that you've seen all this, can you see how some of these same people could easily discriminate against black people, keep us from buying homes, or let us buy the home but jack up the interest rate to limit our real estate power, keep us away from the most important jobs, choose a white man for the most powerful roles regardless of qualifications, just like that Zodiac Club, only white men. Look at the top Fortune 500 company CEOs, NFL, NBA ownership ratios, studio heads in Hollywood. Are we seeing a pattern here? Now, I'm not blaming white people for every problem in the black community, but gotta see where we're coming from now, no? Our government, or should I say the people behind the government that are really running things, they're not above discrimination or holding our people back. These people are sacrificing their own offspring. Let that sink in. These demons force a girl to have sex, have their children just to take the child away, do unspeakable things with their own child, and then sacrifice them? If they could do that to their own family, there's nothing they wouldn't do. Absolutely freaking nothing. And that brings me full circle back to Michael Jackson. Look what they tried to do to Mike. When a black man reaches a level of financial independence where he can't be bought, he becomes a threat. MJ owned the Beatles catalog. He owned half of Sony ATV. He had leverage, real deal leverage. Do you think it's a coincidence that the allegations got loudest when he started speaking out against the industry? Now, multiple online accounts have made the claim that Michael Jackson used Neverland Ranch as a safe haven to protect kids from Epstein, not for his own pedo activities, that he was literally taking children to his ranch that were in immediate danger of being attacked or molested by Epstein or his network of demonic motherfuckers. And this was like music to my ears, like the king of pop was vindicated. I can groove to Dirty Diana in peace now. But as I was doing research for this video you're watching right now, I found out that those online claims about MJ are baseless. Unfortunately, there's no actual evidence that even suggests he was using his ranch as a safe haven for kids. It appears that some of his like diehard fans made a bunch of AI posts claiming he had been vindicated in the Epstein Files, and they definitely had me for a second, but unfortunately there's no validity to those claims. I had AI check the Epstein Files for me, and ChatGPT told me there's no proof that Mike was saving the children, but the AI also made it clear that MJ was cleared of his pedo charges, and there's no evidence linking him to sexual conduct with minors as well. And just to be thorough, I asked Gemini the same thing and got those same answers. Now, we still don't know exactly what happened with MJ and those kids for sure. Maybe we never will, but now what we do know, as a country, we gotta question the answers. Regardless of where they come from, can't trust none of these nasty motherfuckers, man. Yo, if you still here, we family. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next family conversation. It's Dope Digital's here. I appreciate you for rocking with me thus far. Until next time, YouTube. Peace.